is a magnificent spring Sunday afternoon in Sydney. Hello and welcome to Leichhardt Oval, one of the state's most traditional rugby league venues. Today it's a double-header in the VB New South Wales Cup. Week 2 of the finals. Earlier today, the Tigers 29 defeating Wentworthville 20 in what was a terrific game of football. Our principal match today, however, features the clash that will be equally as intense between North Sydney and Newtown. Here's the head-to-head thus far in season 2012. The Bears too good in round 10, and it was a draw in round 23, 16 all between the Bears and the Jets. The North Sydney side today: Vale, Centroni, Talanoa, Leslie Johnson, Keary, Carr, Geddes, McKinnon, Burgess, Judd, Corrigan in the back row this afternoon, along with Josh Starling. The bench is very impressive. Greg Nichols had one of his best ever games last weekend in our television match, and they're coached by Wayne Lampkin. The Newtown Jets, can they do it this afternoon for their massive fan base? Alofa, Tupou, Tungave, Bayutu, Kane, Henry, Mortimer, Masoi, Kara, Alamay, Boston, Barrett and Elaz. It's a very powerful forward pack and an excellent bench. Here's Fraser with the coaches.
Wayne, quite a difficult preparation last week. Do you think that's possibly the reason for the slow start?
Oh, I think it was. I think, we had a bad start to the game with kicking out on the full, which wasn't any help, and the heads went down quite early. And I just think the added extra of those 4 players not being there last week, it took us a little bit long to get over. And once we did, we kind of climbed our way back into the game, but nowhere near the type of football we would have liked to play.
One of your best players so far this year has been George Burgess. He's back in your side today. What is it that he adds to your side other than go forward?
He's just another big man on the field for us who can, he takes in some tacklers and gets some quick play of the ball for us, and we can jump off the back of that. George has been very good all year with us. And again, when he went to first grade, started to do the same things there.
What have you got to do today to win?
Look, we've just got to turn around things from last week. Forget about last week. We've got to get our kick chase right. We've got to get our completions right and build the win, build some pressure on our opposition and not try and, not lose that effect.
Where do you think you've got to attack them today?
Look, their strength is the middle, but it also can be their weakness. If we're able to withstand their first 20 minutes, I think we'll go a long way to winning the game.
Thanks for your time as always, Wayne.
Thank you very much.
Greg, what pleased you most about your side's performance last week?
Just staying alive, mate. That was the main thing. We live to fight another day, so another tough one against North this week.
What have you been working on during the week?
Just our execution. Probably all teams at this stage of the year are fit enough and strong enough. They've done all their preparation. They've just got to try and execute their plays and hold the footy.
Without giving too much away to the North Sydney side, where do you hope to attack them?
We need to be good all over the park. They're a strong big side, so are we, but, they've got some decent outside backs as well. We need to be a solid unit and everyone needs to do their job.
What's the game plan today?
Just go forward, tackle well, and good completions and hopefully execute.
Thanks for your time as always.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, what a game this promises to be. Season on the line. Loser exits for season 2012. And it's a wonderful matchup involving 2 foundation clubs, Peter Mulholland. It's a big stage in the VB New South Wales Cup today.
It is, David, and what a wonderful afternoon for this. And as you said, 2 foundation clubs, and both sides have done it relatively tough to get into these semi-finals. They've had different patches of the season that they've been up and down, and full credit to both coaches to get where they've got today. I'm just tending to lean a little bit towards North Sydney this afternoon.
I'm tending to lean a little bit towards Newtown, actually. What about you, Andrew Ryan?
Yeah, look, I can't wait for this game today. It's this time of year. It's so exciting. The weather's improving. The standard of football is right up there, and these 2 teams are going to go at it today, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I think Newtown may have the X factor on its bench with the likes of Seluini and Cherrington. John Stone is the referee. The Bears will defend the southern end of Leichhardt Oval in this first half. The Tigers defeating Wentworthville earlier today. It's goodbye Magpies in 2012. Of course, last weekend, North Sydney going down to Newcastle in our television match, 28-26. Newtown winning a thriller, 36-30 over the Illawarra Cutters. Underway from the boot of Ryan Carr, who was named in the New South Wales Cup Team of the Year. Inside the last week, Mossy Masoi takes the first hit up of the match. Kara, at acting half in jumper 15, fires the ball to Brad Barrett. He's had a stellar season. The Jets back rower, wrapped up by Brendan McKinnon and Bennett Leslie. Now it's the other bookend, Josh Alamay. For mine, he's probably been the standout front rower in the second half of the competition this season. Here's Boston on the attack after accepting a Kurt Kara pass. Kara, late call up into the starting lineup, wearing 15. Seluini, originally named there, will play in 9 off the bench. Here's Elaz back in the team this week. 5 metres into Bears territory. Now Mortimer, first kick of the game. Down towards the southwestern corner. Kieran Vale. Oh, gee, he'll want to get on with it. That was potentially problematic. The Jets were flying at him. Here's Curtis Johnson. He'll be tackled 6 out from his own line.
I'm not sure what Kieran Vale was thinking. They're obviously hoping for the ball to go out, but I tell you what, it was a dangerous play and did very well to get away with it there, North Sydney. Interesting move too. I noticed that from the pre-match interviews, Luke Keary starting at number 18, the gun halfback from South Sydney's NYC side. A wonderful kid, a wonderful talent.
He's a wonderful talent, all right. He's been in sublime form in the Rabbitohs under-20s. That was a good run from McKinnon. Speaking of Keary, that's him getting boot to ball now. Had a bit of hang time on it, and now drops at the feet of a loafer, who will have his first touch of the game today, and offloads on his outside to the man in 4, Francis Vautu.
I just want to say something about the front rowers in this game here today. You know, we always look to the backs, obviously, but I think traditionally the big games, and it's all about the front rowers. You look at both sides here, they're starting front rowers, they're outstanding talents.
They're Geddes and Burgess for North Sydney. We see the Jets get the penalty. Their starting front rowers, Mossy Massoy and Josh Alamay. I concur with you, Andrew. There's a replay of Carney taking the hit up.
Yeah, Scotty Geddes penalised here for staying on too long, and he's got his arm underneath him. Yeah, I don't think he made too big an effort to... Well, Carney might have had the old clamp on that one, I think, Bobcat.
Yeah, Scott's doing plenty of talking. It's not me, sir, it's not me. So Newtown come downfield. A promising opportunity for them early in this game. The former Canberra Raider. Carney is tackled, plays it back to Kara. Open side now to Jack Boston. Flicked the pass to Alamay. Hard and straight again. Tried to run over the top of young Keary, but the latter was equal to the task. Now the 6, Adam Henry. He's played everywhere in the back line this season for the Jets. Looking forward to seeing what he offers at number 6 today. Now Daniel Mortimer, 10 metres out on the attack. Ball away to Brad Barrett. Lovely tackle by Ryan Carr and Scott Geddes. Now they go left, Mortimer again, the orchestra conductor. Kick through, hit the upright, came into the waiting arms of Fatuli Talanoa.
It's not a bad result there from Mortimer. I thought that kick may have just got through, but the stray boot from a North Sydney player deflected it, and a little bit lucky the Bears again. Mortimer showing that he's not afraid to go to the line early on in this game.
He'll be doing plenty of that. I think his confidence is in good nick, Daniel Mortimer. He played brilliantly last weekend at Cogra and was a major architect to the Jets' 6-point win over Illawarra. Now McKinnon uses Burgess. Burgess has been in the Rabbitohs under-20s team of late as well. He was tackled by Barrett.
Inside 40.
And another clearing kick inside the 40-metre area. You may have heard John Stone over the referee's audio. A loafer. He's got plenty of space to work in. And dummy to Carney on his left. Took the tackle over there of Fatuli Talanoa, who raced up sharply to chase that kick downfield. There's a good run by Francis Vautu.
Yeah, the pass out of dummy half. I thought Justin Carney's pass might have just about gone through Vautu's chest there. He did very well to catch that football.
That's a storming run too for the Jets. 3 North Sydney players putting Daniel Tupou down. Tupou was named in the New South Wales Cup Team of the Year over the last week as well. Alamay into Bears territory. Copybook tackle around the legs there by Brendan McKinnon. That's tackle number 5. It comes to Mortimer and got the kick away. Was tackled after the ball left his boot. Kieran Vale took that one on the full. Had a scary moment when the ball rolled down into that southwestern corner earlier.
Yeah, I've seen those things penalised. I'm a bit surprised it may not have been.
Your thoughts, Andrew?
Oh yeah, it's pretty hard for him to pull out there, but as Pete said, I think sometimes you see those penalised, but I don't think Starling could have pulled out at that stage.
No, I think it was a good call from the referee. It's just consistency, Andrew.
This is Blake Judd, tackled by Barrett. From McKinnon to Keary, and now to Josh Starling. Starling always puts 110% effort in. And the kid Keary drives that downfield into the waiting arms of a loafer, who had a head of steam up as he took it as well.
Both sides just finding their way here. It's been a solid start from both teams. I think Newtown are probably winning the battle of field position at the moment, but North Sydney getting right through their sets really well, and both sides just look really relaxed and comfortable.
Good run again by Daniel Tupou, taking the workload off the forwards as wingers are expected to do in the modern game. Great charge it was. So's this by Jack Bosden as these teams engage in an arm wrestle here at Leichhardt Oval. It's warm, probably 23 degrees. I think it's a fraction warmer than the forecasters suggested we'd get to today. Ball out there. Alamay couldn't handle. Corrigan scampers back and picks it up for the Bears. Playing in the back row, wearing 19 today. And put down by Bosden.
What do you make of that move, Bobcat? Sean Corrigan into the back row. I just obviously wanted some ability in there on his edge.
Yeah, and I think Leslie's been sort of playing in that back row position in previous weeks as well, so they seem to have swapped it around a bit, but yeah, I haven't honestly seen him play anywhere but centre or in the outside back, so it'd be interesting to see him today.
He's big enough.
Oh yeah, and you know, he's got good edge defence as well, there's no doubt about that.
Now charged by Burgess on the advantage line. Elaz around his ankles. So North Sydney for the first time really in the game. Now attacking the Newtown 20-metre area. Kick through. Jets in possession now. So approaching 7.5 minutes in this game. Gone with no score. Tupou, next man to go forward for Newtown. Gee, there's thousands of Newtown fans here today. They are the true believers, the Jets faithful. Good on them. Carney now accepts the pass and stands on the accelerator. The cover defence got across there, though, in the shape of Keary. Here's another great run by Francis Vaiutu. I like the way the Jets are rolling their sleeves up early in this game. They are relentless, punching the ball forward. Elaz, he only knows one way.
See that positional change already done, Andrew. I think Bennett Leslie might have been pushed into the second row now and Corrigan out into the centres.
Yeah, you can see on that right edge there that Leslie and Talanoa are defending side by side out there.
Oh, Vale
with Keary.
Pass away there to Centroni. A little bit of risque ball movement close to their own line. Bears got away with it though.
He's never going to die wondering, Vale, is he?
No, he's certainly not. This is him now playing the ball. Now McKinnon fires the pass to Josh Starling. Starling turned his back on the defence. Now Ryan Carr to the line. Keary and now Corrigan definitely playing left centre despite being named in the back row. Tungave was the tackler. Oh, Geddes was looking for that pass from McKinnon. It was touched by a Jet. Play on to North Sydney. And this is Bennett Leslie. And the tackle count starts again for that reason on the VB replay.
Yeah, Tupou there just put the hand in the ruck, and another set of 6 could be dangerous to the Newtown side. North Sydney starting to get a little bit of field position now.
Geddes was cut out. Ryan Carr goes through. Gets it back to Scott Geddes, now to McKinnon, and they continue downfield with Keary. He's away, and Keary's going to score. Well, that's a good way for the kid to start this game. Plants it behind the uprights. The Bears register the first points. 4-0 kick to come from right in front, and Keary is doing the kicking today.
There's a great try for individually too for the kid. A bit of a break up the middle there from the North Sydney side, and probably the first time they've been in that 40-metre area for the against Newtown, and good work there from Ryan Carr. A little bit of show and go. Great work here from Scott Geddes to shift the focal point. McKinnon further shifting, and you can just see here the kid has all the work to do, Andrew.
Yeah, I thought it was outstanding from Carr in the initial stages. You know, it's great to see the halfback taking the line on. He showed the dummy outside with his outside runners there. Got a nice little offload, and Keary got the ball in a bit of broken play and did the rest. Fantastic footwork.
There's a lot of talk about him, David. I mean, Adam Reynolds has been absolutely sensational for South, but they reckon this kid's as good, and what I've seen of him in the NYC, he's not far off it.
Yeah, I've seen him in a couple of NYC games in 2012. He's been the man of the match. The times I've seen him play, he's got it all. And a terrific radar boot when it comes to kicking as well. Flags in the air, 6-0 to the Bears. G. Massoy and Bosden there coming up with a bad defensive miss on the Bears' 5/8 Keary. So Newtown will play from behind in this game now. You can see plenty of people making the most of this glorious spring sunshine They brought their blankets along to Leichhardt, sitting on the eastern hill. Isn't it terrific to see these jerseys running around in top-level footy?
Stand now.
I've alluded to the fact the Tigers defeated Wentworthville in the other semi-final earlier today. We will show you some highlights of that game when full-time comes around on this match.
I tell you what, David, talk about Newtown. I emceed a function last night out at Windsor, and for the Windsor Wolves, Johnny Lewis was there. I've never met a more passionate, other than Terry Rowney, a more passionate Newtown man than Johnny Lewis. Absolutely amazing.
He loves his Jets.
Oh, they're amazing.
Here's a replay for VB of McKinnon advancing the football downfield.
Stay standing, seconds, locks.
Now the referee, John Stone, says he dropped it there. Lost control of it when getting to his feet. Gee, it was a...
Actually, it was only a minute, but it did leave his hand, and that's a pretty fair call.
You got good eyes, Pete.
I actually had the advantage of a replay there.
Oh, now Tungavay has copped a hit on the head, and the ball has come out. Curtis Johnson starts a sprint towards the Newtown line. Have a look at this. North Sydney players patting one another on the back, and you can see what happened there.
He copped one on the beak, all right. No doubt about that.
Blake Judd, wasn't it, with the left arm? All right, so the Bears have the ball now by virtue of the loosened feet. Kieran Vale tackle. Kara, the man doing the job. Here's Geddes. Straight into the Newtown forwards. Kara, Alamay, Elaz. He's big and strong, Scott Geddes. That's been documented over a long period of time. Starling couldn't break free of Kara, but does manage to get the ball back to Brennan McKinnon. Bears continue the attack here with second phase. Upended by Tungavay. So North Sydney playing this game deep in Newtown territory. Carr, inside ball to Burgess. Can he get it away? Tried to bounce out of the Tungavay tackle, couldn't do so. Masoi helping out too. Carr. Now Keary onto the chest of Curtis Johnson goes the football now. Basketball-like pass back to Blake Judd, who goes for the line. Ample blue and white jerseys there. 3 or 4 of them. That's tackle number 5. He'll play it just in front of the Newtown line. Here's Carr, little kick in. The chasers are there. All towed through by Carney, and just as well.
Yeah.
Penalty.
Number 1, guys, offside.
Offside, yep.
That was great cover from Carney there. It was a nice little touch from Carr. He took it right to the line, and a fantastic kick with lots of chases on it. And Carney coming off his left wing did a fantastic job, but they ended up getting a penalty anyway. But great awareness from him.
So Keary and Vale both in front of the kicker. Was the ruling there. Here's Jack Bosden doing the hard yards for his Newtown Jets. Alamay, a dummy, took the tackle. Geddes got there first with Starling. Burgess 2 down low. Akara, his first run of the game. Out of acting half dangerous player. And he'll do more of that as this game unfolds. Masoi was cut out. It was a shocking pass. Luckily it bounced okay for Elaz to pick it up. Geddes makes the tackle again. So now the Jets working it down deep into Bears territory through Brad Barrett. Corrigan clinging to him, ball and all tackle. That is tackle number 5. Mortimer will go to the air. Does so. A number of players on his left in pursuit. It's got some hang time. Comes down to Carney. Will that be awarded a 4-pointer? He's going to point to the spot. Try time to the Jets. 6-4. They hit back. Kick to come.
There's nothing happening there. That was just a regulation kick. Gee, he did well, Carney. I'm not quite sure where he plucked it from, Andrew.
Yeah, there was a few players around him, and Henry were around the ball. Nice little kick from Mortimer going forward. Not too much pressure on him there. And then we see Henry lining himself up, and Carney just sort of comes right in the back and just scoops it from everyone. Easy as you like.
Yeah, Talanoa, he took the man off the ball. He turned around and took the man off the ball, and I think he might have took his own support player out as well.
Yeah, I'm sure in pre-game they would have spoken about the sun being out on that right edge and trying to attack that whenever they got it in that opportunity.
Mortimer 11 metres in from the eastern touchline. See whether he's on or off today with his opening kick. It's a beauty. Never in doubt. 6-all at Leichhardt Oval. This elimination semi-final. And the Jets faithful, they're loving it. Andrew Ryan, these days, having retired from playing, involved in education and welfare at the NRL with the under-20s. You've been out and about, busy all over the place.
Yeah, it's been outstanding. I've really enjoyed the year this year, and lucky enough to go over to New Zealand a couple of weeks ago and see a few of the carnivals over there. But it's been really good to get out to all the clubs and spend some time with the players, NRL guys, and a few of the under-20s guys as well. So really enjoying the role at the moment.
Nice to still be involved in the game you love, mate.
Yeah, and some of the players are doing some outstanding things away from the field. The list goes on and on. There's guys at university, apprenticeships, guys like Scott Geddes out here running his own personal training business, so they're doing some wonderful things.
There's no doubt there's a lot more emphasis on life after football these days. I mean, it was obviously very much the thing to do in the 70s, wasn't it? You had to have a career in the job, but then clubs lost sight of it and it's made a big comeback.
Oh, absolutely, and it had to.
Yeah, Newtown here have just lost their way. A couple of times I've seen some stray passes from dummy half, and you can see the ball there from Naif Siliuini. Obviously not playing a lot of football with the Newtown side this season, just not quite sure where Daniel Mortimer was there either.
Let's go.
So scrum to pack on the halfway line.
Head in.
North Sydney will get possession.
Head in, Lothar. Down.
And young Luke Keary, one of the real boom players of the Toyota Cup, feeds the ball. Now this is Curtis Johnson.
One. Release now.
Johnson's been one of the mainstays of the outside backs here at the Bears for many seasons now. Ryan Carr went for a scoot. No gap there. Barrett said, I'll put you down. Now Burgess accepting the inside ball from Keary. Elaz, Alamay, and another make the tackle. It was Mossy Masoi, the third man. Now Keary uses Kieran Vale. Vale hits the go button, but the defence read it well. Talanoa to Keary. Starling tucks the ball under his wing. Masoi was too good with that confrontation. Keary at first receiver. Little kick over the top. Plenty of red and black there. And Newtown saving it. It'll be a line dropout.
Yeah, good work there from Newtown. Quick thinking to get that ball put back over the line, but a good set of 6 from North Sydney. Made plenty of yards on that one, Andrew.
Yeah, they're really building some pressure in the last 3 or 4 sets, North Sydney, and I wouldn't be surprised if some opportunities come in these next couple of sets.
Stay on, Josh.
So Mortimer with the honours. It's about a 40-metre effort on the fly. Geddes, here he comes. The veteran in his farewell season.
Mossy, move. Here, Josh, hold, mate. Hold.
Masoi doing plenty of tackling today. Burgess bounced out of the Barrett tackle, but Elaz wrapped him up. Gee, North Sydney looking good, aren't they? Purposeful running, some snappy work out of acting half. They're getting on a roll. Blake Judd now is upended by Barrett and Penny Tungavay. North Sydney threatening the Newtown line again. Dummying, Carr drifting, linked up with Keary. Pass a wayward effort to Kieran Vale. They lost 10 metres in that. Bautu made the tackle. Will Talanoa run? Nope.
I thought it might have been close to a knock on there. Vale might have scooped it up off his bootlaces, but yeah, play on.
So what do the Bears come up with? Short side raid with Keary. He puts it on the deck. It's saved by a loafer. Just as well Centrone was on the fly.
It's been another set of 6, and I think you're right, Bobcat. They're building some pressure, the Bears, and a great little kick here from Luke Keary. Good chase on the end of it, and a lot of work there from a loafer. Did well to cover it.
Yeah, they're really patient today, North Sydney. You can see that they are pushing the offloads when it's there, but attacking on Newtown's line, they're going for those right options. Nice little kicks, repeat sets, build pressure in these big games. That's what it's all about.
After last weekend's loss to Newcastle, they certainly had to work on their discipline. It would appear as though they've done that. We've not seen any brain fades to speak of yet. They just about beat themselves, didn't they, last week?
A lot more composure in their side, though, Dave, with this young Luke Keary, and George Burgess gives them that solidarity up the front, but been very impressed with Keary's maturity. He's waving his arms around, putting people through where he wants them.
Will Newtown capitulate here? Gee, they've been under some pressure the last 10 minutes. All they've done is tackle on their own line, really. Here's Carr, little kick through. Look out, Bennett Leslie's there. And the Bears come up with a 4-pointer to break the deadlock. 10 points to 6, kick to come, and it's very kickable too for Luke Keary. Nice work.
Yeah, he's been involved in everything, Keary, and you see here Ryan Carr now, just that little book kick through with Bennett Leslie on the end of it. Bounce was perfect for him, but I think that was 3 sets of 6. That was a culmination of a lot of good patient work.
Yeah, they've had some nice little deft touches off their kicks, and I haven't seen a lot of Keary play, but one thing that I've really enjoyed watching him in this first sort of 23 minutes of the game is his involvement all over the field. He just doesn't park himself on one edge.
Yeah.
He moves around. Him and Carr obviously have a really good relationship, talking to each other, going to first and second receiver on either side of the ruck. I really like it.
It's good to see that, though, with a halfback, isn't it? Play both sides of the park.
Absolutely.
So the conversion successful. Top try scorer for the Bears in 2012, Justin Hunt, with 13. So Mortimer will get us underway again with 17 minutes remaining in this half. And the Bears looking very professional at the present time. Burgess tackled. Man in 16 is Anthony Cherrington for Newtown. Being thrust into the action by Coach Greg Madison.
Here is hold, go.
Seluini coming off the bench today too, wearing jumper 9 for Newtown. A couple of useful players there, Pete, in Seluini and Cherrington.
Had it about that, and look, last time we saw Cherrington on telly, he was absolutely outstanding, just back from another one of those injuries that's dogged his career, but I think it'll be big things for him next year under Trent Robinson.
Here's a kick from Carr. It's beautifully weighted. Here come the Bears in pursuit. Talanoa was beaten all ends up, but Bennett Leslie made the tackle. Carney now jumps out of acting half, predominantly across field.
We heard from Wayne Lampkin in the pre-game talk about their kick chase, and it's been a real feature of the North Sydney team at this stage. They're getting to their kicks, they're getting through their sets, and their kick chase on the back of it, plus their play too, has been really enthusiastic.
Be remiss of me not to mention the fact that Shane Shackleton was awarded the VB New South Wales Cup Player of the Year at a lavish ceremony at Dalton House in Sydney on Wednesday night as a part of the Brad Fittler Medal Gala Spectacular. And of course that award taken out by Robbie Farah. Well done to him too.
Yeah, it was an outstanding night. I was out there last week, and really enjoyable night. You know, bringing all different backgrounds of people together from different competitions throughout Sydney, and it was outstanding. I had a great night.
I didn't have too much of a shabby time either, just quietly hobbling around the room. Andrew, player down here. And referee signals time off.
He's got hit with a high shot here. I think it's the hooker. I think it's Naif Seluini.
High contact.
We'll have another look at that. Seluini on the field.
Ball's a rebound. Yeah, it's just a rebound into it. Is it Seluini or a loafer?
It's a loafer.
Yeah, loafer, a loafer. You watch it coming back here, and McKinnon's absolutely got him around the chops.
So the Newtown fullback returning the footy.
Just a high shot here.
There. Left arm of McKinnon. A little wayward. Got him in the jaw. So having received some attention, at least he's sitting up. Yeah, great initiative, New South Wales Rugby League, with that Brad Fittler medal night. And Shane Shackleton, well, he was beaming from ear to ear. MC Timmy Gilbert tried to get him to do a Fui Fui Mui Mui impersonation without success, I might add. Here's Seluini exploding out of acting half down the short side and might be driven into touch. Great North Sydney defence, that's what it's all about. Plenty of intensity and aggression. They knew what they had to do and they did it.
Yeah, he's a real danger man, Seluini, and clearly the North Sydney guys were straight onto it, and fantastic defence, just aggressive. Carr got in tight, Corrigan came over, and then Curtis Johnson with the help of Blake Judd. Everyone was in there. There was 5 of them in there at the end, and bundled him over touch.
Everyone but the coach helping out. Bears 10 out from their own line through Curtis Johnson.
16, move now. Hold.
Talanoa at acting half. Penalty Bears, that'll make life a little easier. Piggyback downfield.
Or was it just holding him down a little bit too long again? And
Cherrington.
Yeah, just coming across the top of him.
Now Burgess.
He's played some minutes, Burgess. That's 30 minutes coming up now, and he's still going strong. He's a good young talent, George Burgess. And now it's not bad having the depth they got going into the semi-final series at the first grader in either. Andrew, there's some depth there.
Absolutely. We've seen some of these guys feature in first grade throughout the year, and obviously in the Toyota Cup as well. So they're in a great position, the club at the moment.
Here's Necro Mariarty into the game now, wearing 15. So too is Matt Highland, wearing 17 for North Sydney. Back to Carr. Carr's had a very good game. The halfback, he's been very steady, very calculating. A man that's played more at number 9 than he has at 7. He looks very comfortable today. He's patient, isn't he?
Yeah, I've got to say, in all honesty, and we'll probably talk about him most of the afternoon, the 18s helped him a hell of a lot.
Yeah, Keary. Here go the Jets as Daniel Tupou down the western touchline. Corrigan got him in a tackle that had to be made. So they're at 6s and 7s. The Bears' defence, if they can spread it here, Newtown. But Barrett takes another settler. Crowd not happy. Oh, Barrett dropped that. Yeah, they've seen it too. He's knocked it on. And the crowd not happy.
Referee's saying that Brad Barrett's hung on to Curtis Johnson in this tackle here, and that's why the ball was dropped at the end.
He's holding his jersey there.
Yeah.
I don't think Curtis Johnson made it real easy.
I don't think he did either. Look at the arms in there.
Curtis is smiling as he looks at the referee, and there's the knock on. That's a coach killer.
It's been a few in a row from Newtown around this crucial spot, and it's really given North Sydney the opportunity to get right back on the front foot and put some more pressure on them.
Yeah, and Cherrington compounded it with that penalty a little earlier, a couple of minutes ago too. So they're making errors and compounding them, which is double trouble naturally. McKinnon here is tackled by Andrew Pern, wearing 14 for Newtown, now into the game. Here's Ariardi, good player. I'll lose nothing having him out into the action. Now Carr turning the ball inside to Highland. Cherrington and Boston combined to stop him. So 7.5 minutes remaining in this first half. North Sydney 12 lead the Jets 6. Down to a loafer goes that kick. And he attacks the eastern corridor, wrapped up by Chris Centroni.
His positioning's been pretty good in the last few sets of loafer. The North Sydney side were finding a lot of ground off their kicks earlier, but he's really picked them out the last few sets, and it's got Newtown on the front foot.
Gee, this crowd's making some noise.
Yeah, I think the venue's got a bit to do with it too, Tappy. It's a great venue for this, and the basin shape that it is. And but I tell you what, it's a very, very healthy crowd as well.
That's excellent. Great to see. Here's Boston. Tackled right on the halfway line there by Necrom Ariardi. Seluini fires the ball to big Homer. Homer scored the match-winning try for the Jets last weekend in its victory over Illawarra. Mortimer punches that down towards the eastern touchline, getting back there Centroni. And was able to beat the first attempt to tackle, but not the second of Vaiutu. Kieran Vale, about 12 metres out from his own line, goes for a carry. Tackled by Mortimer. Starling. Mortimer, it's got to be said, looking very much at home in the Newtown number 7 jumper. He spent a lot of time in the New South Wales Cup at the back end of this season. Now Keary. That's tackle number 5. He plays it back to Kieran Vale. And now to Ryan Carr, who thumps that downfield. He was 10 metres on his own side of halfway. And Carney fields it. A penalty to North Sydney. Obviously the kicker has been interfered with. Let's check it out. Carr it is. Pern. Oh, that's nothing.
Gee.
That's nothing.
Gee. What did we talk about earlier on, Bobcat? Consistency.
You know, that's what markers are coached to do, to get out a marker and pressure the kicker. That's all he's done.
It wasn't a shoulder charge either. It was just a front-on chest. He couldn't have pulled out of that.
16, no, off.
All Andrew Pern did was execute one of those effort areas that every coach talks about.
Stand now, all way, 16.
Anyway, here we go. Ariardi plays it 10 out from the Newtown line. So the Jets, wow, under more pressure here. Carr, ball away to Greg Nichols now into the action for North Sydney. Was outstanding last week. Back slam by his opposite number, Brad Barrett. Now Carr playing a bit of footy, spins that ball back into the arms of Necrom Ariardi. who's always hard to stop. Poon got him with assistance from a loafer. Can Newtown repel the Bears' challenge? They're now 5 metres out and on the attack, leading by 6 ahead of the half-time break. Here's McKinnon, he'll score! Oh, Newtown went to sleep on their own line. Their heads will drop now, and they should. That was dreadful. McKinnon, 16 points to 6. North Sydney now leads, and the kick will be easy.
Yeah, that was all too easy, and off the back of what could have been said to be a little bit of an unfortunate penalty there, but marker defence non-existent and no movement off their own line.
Look, I'm sure in the lead up to this game they'd be speaking about McKinnon jumping out of dummy half, and he's got lightning speed, and as you guys said, they just clocked off there, and he took full advantage of it.
And Keary gets his 3rd goal of the afternoon. 18 points to 6. That is a very good lead in a semi-final.
Well, 3 minutes to half time. It's a great lead, and Newtown will be looking to try and get one at least back on the board before half time, but not the way they're playing at the moment. They're not getting any consistent pressure onto the North Sydney defence.
Greg Madison, it goes without saying, will be less than impressed with that defensive lapse. They've just started to creep into some old habits, the Jets. And the scoreboard would suggest that North Sydney have taken advantage of that. We've seen some mistakes, we've seen a lack of discipline, unforced errors, getting themselves onto the back foot. So the Bears now playing this game 10 into Newtown territory. Nichols plays it back to McKinnon, and now Carr drives that down towards the northwestern corner. Daniel Tupou has had a fine game, this number 2. Returns the footy for Newtown.
Well, that's 80 metres on a set after points. It's not bad, is it?
Yeah, outstanding set. And it's been interesting to watch this first half of footy. In previous weeks, both teams have spread the ball early and tried to get to the fringes, but today they seem to be a lot more composed, and as they do it right now, Newtown. But, obviously they've spoken about just going through the middle.
Nice work there by Henry. Got it to Cherrington. Now they lose it. That's unfortunate. Very snappy ball movement there by the Jets. Cherrington's hurt. He's down and not looking too well in the back play. There he is there in shot as North Sydney now work the Steeden downfield through Bennett Leslie. Here's Talanoa. Talanoa 5 into Newtown territory.
You go field goal here, Pete?
Yeah, you'd want to, Andrew. You'd be setting up for it now with a couple of tackles, or they're going wide.
A car to Vale, and Vale cuts out Corrigan to the winger, Curtis Johnson. He got away from his opposite Tupou. There's some space for him to work in. Oh, big Curtis. He was making a block-busting run and then said to Newtown, why don't you have the footy back?
It's that loose carry. He's got that right arm loose carry coming back into traffic on his right arm, and ball needed to be changed hands here, and he just didn't bother doing it. Look how loose it is. Bang. There.
Yeah, it was a great run. What a pity.
Yeah, and it was set up for a field goal too, wasn't it?
Yeah, they could have gone straight off the back of that, but it was a fantastic run. He came in, did everything right up until the final contact.
Henry, he hasn't looked too bad at number 6, has he? Combined there with Cherrington to set that raid up earlier.
He's played some positions, hasn't he, the young Kiwi? He's a good player.
Here's Cherrington flopping it back. He was called held.
Good call, referee.
So he'll give it back to Cherrington and ask him to play it. That's that new rule we see.
I love it.
Yeah, me too.
You know, how often did we used to get frustrated when you'd see there was a changeover and a scrum here, and it's a fantastic rule.
Just a common sense innovation, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Bosden plays it. Seluini. Oh, geez, he's nippy out of there, isn't he? He'll ask plenty of questions of the North Sydney defence in this game. There's half-time at Leichhardt Oval. Glorious conditions. 18-6. The Bears lead this sudden death semi-final. And the Jets have got it all to do in the second stanza. Kira Leslie, McKinnon the try scorers. McKinnon's try was soft. Kiri got 3 goals from 3 attempts in that first half. For the Jets, Wakani, he leapt high above them to take a Daniel Mortimer kick, and he scored. Mortimer duly converted from wide out. Stay with us. This will be a cracking second half. You're watching Fox Sports. Thanks for joining us. Week 2 of the final series in the VB New South Wales Cup. Bears leading 18-6 at the break over Newtown.
first try to young Luke Keary after great work from Ryan Carr, and poor defence up the middle, Andrew.
Yeah, he's a very elusive guy, and we saw nice little palm and footwork from him.
This next one, as Andrew Ryan said, right into the sun here, but I don't know how Justin Carney ever got that football. It's just being on the
Deep in
spot.
the night he was, and nice little kick here from Carr and Bennett Leslie right on the spot.
Yeah, great try to Bennett Leslie, but that's poor defence there from Newtown, Andrew.
Yeah, McKinnon, he's very sharp out of dummy half, and they just clocked off there at marker.
You know what I noticed, David, as they come back onto the field now, I don't think Newtown's made one clean break. You know, their try came from a high kick, and I don't think there's been a clean break made by them in this half, and they've really got to rectify that.
With the exception of Tupou, who made a burst down the western touchline, was tackled by Corrigan. But you're right.
It's the only time, and there's been a number of line breaks by the North Sydney side.
And there was that Henry ball to Cherrington, which was half a break, but ended in tears with lost possession. So, players back on what is a great rugby league ground at Leichhardt. I've got to say, it's one of my favourites. Not a bad seat in this place, is there?
Certainly a great venue, and I know Bobcat's excited by the fact it's semi-final time and not far to the big one, but this has been a tremendous afternoon of footy, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a great game. You know, we saw a couple of errors there at a period through the first half, but all in all, it's been a really physical affair. Both teams obviously came here to play with massive day at stake here, so can't wait for the second half.
So Mortimer gets this game back underway as we watch North Sydney's Matt Highland return the football. Should mention that this coming weekend is the Bundaberg Red Cup Grand Final. Wentworthville to face the Entrance Tigers at St Mary's League Stadium. We'll give you some info on that at the back end of this program today, and we're televising that for you as a standalone next week on Fox Sports. It'll go to air Thursday at 12:30 p.m. And of course, the New South Wales Cup Grand Final qualifier will go to air in its usual time slot of Wednesday at 4:30. So good to see two of the New South Wales Rugby League's premier competitions showcased on Fox Sports next week. North Sydney into Newtown territory, and a high kick that a loafer waits for. He was in Disneyland there midway through that first half. He's recovered sufficiently.
Yeah, the kick wasn't the best kick on the end of that set of six, but gee, it was a good 4 or 5 tackles leading into it.
Here's Carney, aggressive run. Plenty of experience, the Newtown number 5, Francis Vautu. Seluini, Cherrington will advance the football beyond the halfway line. In fact, driven back and tackled right on the chalk. Nichols, Carr, and another doing the honours, Seluini. Nice work. Good play from the dummy half. Here he is again. To Adam Henry, goes to the line this time, kicks for himself. He'll regather this, Adam Henry. He's away. He's got support coming. Can he get there himself? The Bears rush at him and they stop him successfully. Enterprising play, the Newtown 6. Almost doing it all on his own. Struggling to play the ball now.
How skillful was that? Yeah, I think he was just slowing it down to get his defence on side, but that was great defence at the end of the day from the North Sydney side. Kieran Vale, I think, held him up. Beautifully judged little chip kick here, Andrew.
Yeah, fantastic vision from Henry, and as you said in the call, Peter, they came from everywhere. Look at them. There's 5 and 6 North Sydney defenders in the line, and that Starling, a back rower, and plays a fair bit of front row as well. Getting back there, there's 5 or 6 guys to stop him there. That's absolute commitment from them.
I inadvertently said he was struggling to play the ball. That's because he wasn't supposed to be. It was the last tackle and I hadn't noticed. I apologise. Here's McKinnon doing what Seluini has been doing. Hasn't he added some spark, Seluini? As we suggested he would do off the bench. Kick downfield by North Sydney. Into touch about 10 metres out. Newtown playing from 12 points behind. They certainly can't allow North Sydney to score first in this half.
There we go, another one of those little kick things that we spoke about earlier on. One's a penalty, 2 aren't, so you just get on with life. But that's a good response from Newtown too after that big break from Henry and that little chip kick over that caused a bit of havoc with the defence. A great reply.
This is Francis Vaiutu, tackled by Matt Highland.
Sorry, Dave. They're on top of their game today, North Sydney. Andrew, you think?
Yeah, they are. Their talk's great. They're working hard. Just all the signs. Their kick chase, working hard for a marker. All the signs have been good so far for North Sydney.
Giselle Uini, another great run, wrapped up by Ryan Carr. He's emerged as the most dangerous player on the field, this Newtown 9.
He reminds me a bit of Isaac Luke in his younger days, doesn't he? You would have played with Isaac at Canterbury, didn't you?
Yeah, he was in the lower grades there. He was playing fullback, I think, at the time back then, Isaac. But yeah, he's very nippy out of dummy half. Isaac Luke, obviously, and so's Seljuini.
Had a great game last night, Isaac Luke, in that Rabbitohs thumping of the Raiders.
God, you're a Rabbitohs fan, aren't you?
I was just stating a fact. Luke did have a great game, and it was a thumping.
That's all you've been talking about today.
That's good for the game. You know the old adage about the league going well when the Rabbits are going well. It's true.
That is a fantastic run from Kieran Vale.
Yeah, outstanding.
Curtis Johnson. That's a good run. North Sydney getting through their work with class. It comes to Highland, and that's what you call a hospital pass to Bennett Leslie. Wonderful defence. He's opposite, getting up in his face and making it stick. Now from McKinnon, away to Nekram Ariardi. Ariardi's stopped by two Newtown defenders. He got away from Andrew Pern. McKinnon again jumps out of acting half to Carr. A short ball to Greg Nichols. He's on the fly. Kieran Vale with the line. Warren Agnes spilled it.
Geez, that was a great line from Nicol, and he got the fantastic ball around the corner there, and Vale just couldn't grab onto it.
Good work again. McKinnon out of dummy half, took the A defender away, and good little ball there from Ryan Carr. But as you said, great line against the grain, Andrew, and pass was right too. I tell you what, he just had to catch that football. Momentum would have taken him over.
Just got a touch up in behind him, but yeah, great little play.
I tell you what, had they scored that, I reckon they're nearly untouchable, North Sydney. At 24 points to 6, I'm not sure where Newtown are at this stage.
Yeah, it would have been a big play in this game.
I agree, Pete. A try there converted to the Bears would be curtains, the way they're going at the moment. Newtown has it all to do. It'll be some comeback by Newtown if they can achieve it here, because, they've done some defence, a lot more than North Sydney. That's a great run by Homer. He does that week in, week out for Newtown. Look at Seljuini. Ball away now to Vaiutu. Newtown looking dangerous here. Good play set up there by the number 9. That's tackle number 5. Adam Henry gets into acting half. And it's Daniel Mortimer now kicking to the southeastern corner. Curtis Johnson is underneath it. It's been touched there by Daniel Tupou, but knocked on. So it'll be a North Sydney ball.
Change over.
I tell you what, it is a great kick from Mortimer. What about the hang time on this? Picks a man that's a little bit uncertain sometimes under the ball, and Curtis Johnson, and geez, Tupou, all he had to do was try and get both hands on that. That would have been a try.
Here's Curtis Johnson. He was under some pressure there.
I know Seljuini's been dangerous for the North Sydney defence. How good has Vaiutu been in the centres?
Yeah, he's had a great game.
The left side, he is just terrorising.
Yeah, he's up off his line. His line speed's outstanding in defence, and geez, he's carrying the ball with some steam when he runs it too.
Last season, Pete, we saw him used off the bench a fair bit as a back rower, Vaiutu, and he was solid in that role too.
Yeah, you're right too, Dave. He's just a very good player.
Definitely in the centres. That's his go. Look at Vale. He's got speed and he's got no shorts in the interim. Thank you very much. That brings the old Heine to a completely new level. I can't even speak. Here's Nichols to the line. A dummy and takes the tackle of Carney. Well, the Bears, they're rolling downfield again. It comes to the Englishman Burgess. Now to the youngster Keary. A kick. It's picked up by Newtown's a loafer. And that really amounted to nothing after what was a good set.
I think he had in the back of his mind he was always going to kick that, Luke Keary. Long ball outside. I reckon he had him shot there. I thought there was only 2 defenders outside of him, and I tell you what, that would have been shut the gates again.
Yeah, Newtown were under the pump out on their right edge, and I think they were very happy that kick went away there from Keary.
Good bit of skill too from the fullback, a loafer to pick that up on the half volley.
Andrew Pern tackled. Pern, a former Western Suburbs Magpie and a former Tiger.
And a former Panther.
Okay, there you go. He's been around. He's the travelling man of the New South Wales Cup. The journeyman. Barrett is tackled. by Sean Corrigan. Really enjoying the atmosphere at Leichhardt. Hope you're enjoying our coverage on Fox Sports, the Elimination semi-final. The Bears leading 18-6 after almost 49 minutes of play. Vale, who's shown some razzle-dazzle today, hasn't he?
He's a good player. Now, like I said, he's never going to die wondering. Great run from Curtis Johnson.
Yeah,
have a look at this. It was going to be a good run from the time he took that line, Andrew.
Yep. I'll tell you what, this 10-minute period here as we come up to it now, it's been some of the best footy I've seen all year in this little block of footy. Hardly any errors, everyone just running aggressively. Oh, my goodness.
He's had a great game, McKinnon, too. He doesn't deserve that.
Couldn't even get to the 10-minute mark.
we know what you mean.
It has been outstanding, and obviously, I don't know if he was trying to pull a penalty there, but it's been an outstanding half so far.
So the Jets cross the halfway line through Carney, comes back away from that western touchline, finds Francis Vaiutu, whom, as we've said, has been outstanding today. They've got a pretty handy centre on the other side in Tungavay too, who comparatively has not seen anywhere near as much ball. Here he is now, Tungavay. He can be a weapon. He's got speed. He tries to get around Corrigan. Had support. Should have let it go to the number 2. Tupou is bundled into touch. So unfortunately there, Tungavay misreading the situation completely.
I think he second-guessed that one. I'm quite sure had he had his time again, he would have released that pass. But Sean Corrigan did very, very well. Tungavay got outside of him here. You see Henry indecisive about what he's doing. Clean pair of heels on Corrigan here with that little in and away, Andrew. And he stayed on him. Curtis Johnson going backwards here. Watch the man on the inside. Good defence. I think he could have given that.
Yeah, I think he had to in the end, but it was a fantastic little play for him, in and away, but Corrigan just never let him get away from him. He showed him that outside and used the sideline to his advantage.
And Curtis Johnson did well too to back off and make sure he had the inside pass covered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's Centroni scrambling his way downfield, picked up here by Luke Keary. That's a good run by the kid, and ran straight into Andrew Poon and wished he hadn't. Now Burgess, he puts in the big ones. Look at him driving downfield. Barrett and Tungavay make the tackle. McKinnon keeps the pressure on. He ran straight at Tungavay again. Was assisted by Seluini. So the Bears, they're back into the Newtown danger area, looking to extend what is already a very handy lead. Burgess, he's tackled by Barrett across the top and Seluini down low. They continue to pepper the right-hand edge of Newtown's defence. Operating on that short side, the Bears. Here's Curtis Johnson. He'll score. He's leapt across the top of the fallen players and planted it down for a 4-pointer. 22-6. Is that Newtown's season?
That was a magnificent surge in that set of 6. Each forward knew his job and took the ball forward. Good quick play the balls. The Newtown defence just couldn't regroup. See the pass here now. Once again, Greg Nichols, instrumental in a lot of the good work from North Sydney this year. Slips the ball out. Broken field here and bang over the top.
He's just leaped over him.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Whatever it takes for Curtis Johnson, isn't it?
Well, if Keary can land this, well, I'll put you blokes on the spot now. Can Newtown come back the way the Bears are going?
I just think they got the roll, Newtown. North Sydney. I can't see it, Andrew.
North Sydney have been outstanding so far. Just the energy in this second half.
Haven't had a lot of ball though, Newtown, have they? They've had a lot of ball, and that's a great kick from Luke Keary to put them up 24 points to 6. But they haven't had good field position, have they? It's all been hard ball that they've got.
Well, they say playing in the New South Wales Cup is an important part of a young player's development because simply you're playing against men. I'm talking about Luke Keary today. He stood up, hasn't he? He has stood up. That's a great tackle on McKinnon. It was Boston, wasn't it?
Boston,
and look at the Jets now.
Yeah.
They have realised their season is gone if they don't produce something special and score next. They are muscling up in defence, trying to force an error. Gee, they face a big task now to get themselves back into this game. Curtis Johnson, the try scorer, arcing-like run back towards the centre of the park.
Yeah, their response to that try now is going to be absolutely vital. See what they can put on in this set of 6 in attack. They really need to try and get some field position. I mean, they've got good players out there. Cherrington's very, very dangerous. Vaiutu's playing great footy. Mortimer, as we know, can do anything.
Oh, geez, a good player, this kid. Keary, the ball went forward to Burgess. What a pity, it was a great little run. And change over of possession.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, probably second-guessed himself again there too.
Yeah, it was a nice little run. I probably would have liked to have seen him get boot to ball. It's a pretty important set for them. You know, they go 24-6 up, and now Newtown are attacking nearly on the halfway line. But you know, he backed himself, and that's all you can ask, I guess.
Here's Brad Barrett, ambling down beyond the halfway line, wrapped up by Matt Highland. The latter has been good since coming into the game, Highland. Here's Mossy Masui back on the field. Started the game strongly.
He's a big man, isn't he?
Massive man. Arguably the biggest pins in the New South Wales Cup.
Strong is he, Andrew?
Ridiculous. It's not bad I don't have to tackle him. Well, I probably didn't actually tackle him before anyway, so I'm glad I don't have to try and tackle him anymore.
Here's Alamay. Another one with big pegs. Away to Mortimer. Kicks for the winger. Interesting play. It was, tried to bat it back, and it comes back into the field of play, and Newtown falling on it. That's 6 again. Naturally, North Sydney did play at it. Here's Tupou. That was the man the kick was intended for. And Tupou will play it back to Daniel Mortimer. Now Elaz, beyond the North Sydney 20-metre line he travels. He got away from them too, should have let it go. He had players on his left screaming for it with an overlap.
Yeah, I thought they missed the kick a little bit there, his support players, but...
Here's Boston to Carney. Carney,
strong.
Confronted by Centroni and still managed to get the pass away back to Vaiutu. Vaiutu, he kicks through and was cleaned up after he kicked it too. Vale has to get busy. Penalty. Penalty to Newtown, you'll think. Or you would think. Let's have a listen and a look.
Yeah, George Burgess in on top of him and knocks him over well after he got rid of that football. And
do you reckon it was well after he got rid of it?
Well after. It's just South Sydney coming through, Dave.
No, it's not. Here's Newtown and Elas. 5 metres out from the Bears line. The Jets need a converted try, and they need it now. 57 minutes gone. They trail 24-6. Alamay tries to crash his way over. Plenty of Bears defenders there. Nichols, he muscled right up. Here's Mossy Masoi. He'll score, the big man. Has he got it down? Bennett Leslie's underneath him. Referee points to the spot. Masoi does what they required. 24-10 kick to come.
Yeah, penalty from Burgess there's paid a hell of a price there, and it was good defence. He just bumped out of one tackle there of Burgess, I think it was, and geez, a big man to hold up over that close to the line.
Yeah, very difficult to stop from there, and he seemed to get to the edge of Bennett Leslie after he bounced off of Burgess, and the right edge, they were nowhere to be seen out here. There was a big gap. He's just spun around and bounced straight over the try line, and away he went. Mortimer converts the try.
All right, so that scoreline looks a little better for Newtown.
That's on the back of that mistake from Curtis Johnson on the other side of the field when he picked up that long kick. He should have just kept hold of that football. Tried to keep himself inside.
Yeah.
Didn't need the big play.
No, they've had them under the pump ever since that.
So the Newtown Jets through Andrew Pern, rolled on his back by Geddes and Bennett Leslie, slowing down the ruck. Now Masui in front of the line, passes to Elaz, and he's tackled by Ryan Carr and Sean Corrigan. Barrett at acting half. The second rower goes for a run from a standing start. Tackled by Burgess. Here's Mossy Masui. Good run. And put on the ground on the halfway line by Burgess.
It's a great tackle underneath there from McKinnon. Geez, he made him fall quick.
Now the kick downfield from Mortimer, fielded on the second bounce by Chris Centroni. And he was wrapped up smartly by the chasing Newtown defence, led by Kurt Kara. Here's Fatuli Talanoa, who has really not run the football today at all.
They're very bunched at the moment, North Sydney. I sense a bit of a lift here from Newtown, and North Sydney finding it very difficult to get out of trouble.
That was Geddes that made the run. Now Burgess, hard and straight. The Newtown wall, it held firm. McKinnon, hasn't he had a game today, the North Sydney number 9? One error, but he's been hugely effective jumping out of acting half. That's a great kick. Fantastic kick. A loafer needs to get busy. got back into the field of play by 1 metre. Great kick.
That is the kick of the season so far. Just pulled up right where everybody wanted. A good chase on the end of it. This is really where they need to burr up now, North Sydney, to get back in control of this game.
Yeah, fantastic kick and chase.
I'm not sure Daniel Tupou knew he was going to get that ball, but he's done well, Tupou. He's away, and the fans go up. He's got support in Daniel Mortimer. Oh, he loses the ball. My goodness, what a game.
I'm dumbfounded. You're right. I don't think Daniel Tupou expected that football at all.
It was probably a 25-metre pass from the acting half.
He did beautifully well here. Got through Corrigan's tackle and just stepped through that like he wasn't there. Beat Greg Nichols with that little fend and stepped out of that one. Mortimer backing up like a great support player that he is. I thought here Andrew is away more.
Yeah, I thought he might duck straight under and slip straight through. And
Tungavay unmarked on his right.
It was hard to see what happened there, but as you said, Tungavay, you would have think she would have been curtains closed after that.
I reckon so. 61 and a half minutes gone here at Leichhardt Oval, the elimination semi-final. Week 2 of the final series.
That's good.
That's Carney, another great kick.
That's good footy, isn't it? That's right into the corner again. Hammer him in. Let's see if we can keep him here now.
Yeah, the halves kicking game today for North Sydney has been some of the best I think we've seen all year. It's been right on the money.
Terrific game to watch, isn't it? Very high standard. Ahmad Elaz put on the ground by Matt Highland. The Jets still trailing by 12. They are certainly playing better at the moment, but they face a big task nonetheless. That was a good tackle, Sean Corrigan. Straight up in the face of Tungavay and upended him, in a legal sense, I mean. Brad Barrett is tackled. Newtown have struggled to get out of their own area in this set. Now Mortimer decides the only way to do that is to boot it downtown. It's a bounce that has the attention of Kieran Vale. He's got Centroni in support. And Vale, who's had a fair game today, and now has a new pair of shorts. You'll remember he had his torn from his waist a little earlier. Here's Centroni.
Not a lot of shape to the North Sydney side at the moment there, Bobcat. They seem to be a little bit bunched, but here you go. This man can put a bit of spark back into their attack.
Curtis Johnson, good tackle there by Brad Barrett. Flings him to the ground. And I think it hurt Johnson. It would have hurt me. Now Keary. Vale. Now the 11 is Blake Judd. He runs back into traffic in the shape of Francis Vautu. So North Sydney, it's all too familiar territory. Kick. It's been cleaned up by Justin Carney. The winger's away, Carney. We know he's got speed to burn. Can they catch him? Carr comes across. Ankle tap attempt. No good. And Carney's going to run 90 metres and score. The Jets are back.
That is against the run of play. You can see them setting up a little short side play here from the previous ruck, the North Sydney side. Kick was on the full, probably should have been a kick along the ground, straight into Carney's hands. He's knackered there now, but you can see this little short side. Vale's put the ball through, but what a great kick from Carney, Justin Carney. Good support, chase on the end of it from North Sydney, but when you're against the run of play like that.
Oh, and if you remember back to the previous set Newtown had, they were battling to get out of trouble. Mortimer got a kick away, but it wasn't the best, and Vale was full of running coming back, and they've had the pressure mounting North Sydney, and Carney goes and grabs a fantastic slips catch like that and runs the length untouched.
I'm just not sure what goes through a player's head. That needed to be driven into a corner, keep them back down like was what has been working for them in the past.
Yeah, we were only just speaking how good their kicking game has actually been, and Vale, who's obviously the fullback, comes up into the line, puts the kick in, so basically no one at home, and Carney's got speed to burn.
This will be handy if he can get the two. Mortimer, he's got it away. It's got the flags in the air. 24 points to 18.
Game on, 15 minutes to go.
It was 24-6 not that long ago. 64, almost 65 minutes gone. Tremendous atmosphere at Leichhardt Oval. Newtown and North Sydney playing for their season. Wentworthville has already been sent packing. If you missed the start of our show, they were beaten by Balmain Right Eastwood, who will advance to week 3 of the finals. Here's Jack Bosden, meantime, for Newtown, tackled by Scott Geddes. Brock Molan into the action now for North Sydney, I note too. Wearing 14, this is Ahmed Elaz. Geddes the tackler again.
I would assume the plan was probably to bring him on earlier, Molan, but McKinnon's just been outstanding for North Sydney. I suppose you don't want to take him off when he's going so good.
No, that's a good point, Bob. You're exactly right. He's been one of their star players.
Here's Daniel Mortimer. And that's tackle number 5. 24 plays 18. Here at Leichhardt, Tungave, shocking kick. It's picked up by Curtis Johnson. He's away, the big winner. Brad Barrett's in pursuit. A loafer comes across too. A loafer gets him, as does the lock forward Elas. Great chase by both. I thought he was going to go all the way, Johnson, but they mowed him down. North Sydney still on the attack here through Keary. And Keary is tackled. Bears fans trying to lift their team across the line here. Scott Geddes, he got it back to Brock Molan. And Molan is put on the ground by Josh Alamay. They're a couple of metres out. Kieran Vale goes to dummy half. Uses Big Burgess, who drives towards the line. You can see he is just a few blades of grass short. Kara is in the ruck trying to get out of the way. Bears on the attack. Carr goes all the way through. The Jets held off him, and you'll pay every time. Carr drove straight through the gap, 28-18.
That's exactly what happened in that previous try. A long break by the North Sydney side. You remember that try earlier on from McKinnon. Once again, the Newtown defence just didn't regroup, Andrew, and a big hole there for Carr to get through.
Oh, outstanding defence previously from Newtown. Great chase from Elas. And their goal line defence was outstanding, but then Carr put down the hammer. We've seen him dig into the line so many times today, and he showed the dummy again. Too much speed and great try.
And the kick successful from Luke Keary, 5 from 5. The kid can do no wrong this afternoon. It's 30-18.
Dare I say, I don't know what's going to happen here, but I just think it might be too much for the Newtown side.
Let's play on, and here's Daniel Tupou. The Jets coming up with a short kick-off, and they've netted the appropriate result. Great play. Straight on the attack go the Jets. They need to respond, and they're aiming to Josh Alamay. Great run. Tries to steamroll over the top of 3 Bears. Geddes said, come here. I can get the job done. Daniel Mortimer, short ball to a loafer who reaches out, and the ball has come out of his grasp. Penalty. 2 in the tackle, I guess.
Two in the tackle here. Great work, Mortimer. Lovely little line he played there.
Must have been.
And then it was knocked out then by Scott Geddes. He did well to pull it back too. It was a second thought of his, and here we go now. Newtown with a quick tap.
Elas is tackled in front of the VB goalpost pads. Kara, he goes right, links up with Masoi, who will crash over. The Newtown front rower gets his second one today. He'll be kicked out of the front rowers union. 30-22 kick to come. The Jets are not dead and buried.
No, they got the spring in the step. Masoi here just once again too big, too strong. Defenders all followed the dummy half over, created the problem on the other side.
Great play from Kara, dummy half there. He showed one way and both markers just took the dummy. Vale and Bennett Leslie were at marker and they both went one way, and big Mossy Masoi coming back on the beautiful line.
Flags in the air, Mortimer 4 from 4, so both kickers, Mortimer and Keary, not missing a shot at goal today.
Today's official attendance, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is 8,972.
Speculated on the short kick-off, and it has worked out big time for them. The Jets fans, they breathe a sigh of relief. Josh Alamay, how would you like to stand in front of him and bring that man down?
No way in the world, and I don't think Bobcat will be after it either at the moment.
No thanks. I've dislocated my shoulder enough times. Thank you.
So the Jets have come from 24-6 down to put themselves right back into this contest. There's plenty of time on the clock left. 8 minutes to be precise. Here's Elas. Gee, he was hit hard by Blake Judd. It's been called high, has it?
I'm not sure. Tell me, Bobcat, was this?
I don't know. All the Newtown players were going off, and the crowd was going off, which is always an indicator. But
it slipped up.
Yeah. It was Blake Judd who his arms bounced off the chest of the ball carrier and clipped him on the chin. It's been done now. Here come the Jets. Kara, Elas again, taking the North Sydney line on. Tackled by Bennett Leslie and George Burgess. Now Josh Alamay to the line. In fact, I thought he was across the line, trying to play the ball. Back to Adam Henry. Henry takes him on now. He goes for a run. Ball drops out the back. It's play on. It's not 6 more. It's a loafer, a loafer. He's got it down now. Held up is the ruling. Held up is the ruling by John Stone.
That's good refereeing too. You got him right on the spot there. You got the in-goal touch judge. I think he did hold it up in the air, didn't he, Andrew? Have a look at this.
Yeah, he seemed to have it there for a long time, a loafer. He did end up getting it down, obviously, but here we see the in-goal touch judge right on the spot. He goes out for it there.
Yeah, I think he had...
Talanoa came across and did outstanding too.
It was stopped, hadn't it? There was no momentum in that football.
Now Adam Henry, he whips the ball on the outside to Daniel Tupou. Tupou's very dangerous. Curtis Johnson, Sean Corrigan, Ryan Carr. They converge on him. A pile of red and black jumpers. Now the ball comes to Daniel Mortimer. A kick through and McKinnon falls on it. So North Sydney, they breathe a sigh of relief there. There's 6 minutes to go.
They're extremely tired, North Sydney. They've done plenty of defence in the last 10 minutes and they've been bunched nearly every time they've got the ball. They need something here.
Well, what are you saying as a captain out here now, besides trying to catch your breath, Andrew?
Oh, North Sydney?
Yeah.
Oh, look, just get through this set. Try and get to the kick. Put it out. Somebody put it out. So give us a bit of a rest and get your breath back.
Yeah.
Now George Burgess. Tackled by Elaz. Now the Bears.
That's plenty of good go forward so far.
Yeah, outstanding. They've stuck to their guns around the ruck today, North Sydney. They've really dug in around their markers and A defenders.
Carr, his long kicking game has been sensational this afternoon. That time a loafer reins it in.
That's fantastic from North Sydney. They were right down, bunched on their own line. Nice little kick and good kick chase as well.
Justin Carney goes for a run. Sandwiched by George Burgess and Scott Geddes. It's not a sandwich you want to be filling in either. And this is Bosden. Bosden downfield, a run of 7 or 8 metres. Greg Nichols, the primary defender. And here's Kara. A good run by Kara. He looked like he was going to punch his way through. That's tackle number 5. They are on a roll on Newtown. That's Cherrington. That's tackle 5 now, I beg your pardon. And a very sloppy play of the ball. Ooh. Newtown players appealing for a penalty.
No, I think that's a pretty good call, actually. It's a very brave call, but I think it's a fair call. Cherrington, I think they're dangerous. Newtown have just, as you said, Andrew, I think Norths need to have a bit of a break here. This might be a chance to get some breath back now, but...
Jeez, I think that's a penalty.
Yeah, you're probably right. I thought it might have come off his toe, but it didn't.
Here come the Bears. Chris Centroni wrestling with Adam Henry. McKinnon. Geddes. Oh, the Newtown forward sprinting off the line. Geddes had a target on his jersey. Look at that. It was Massoy and Alamay.
That's a nightmare.
Absolutely. Starling going forward for North Sydney. Geddes would have been up for the challenge, though.
He didn't back down, no way.
He didn't back off, did he? Not at all.
Newtown letting their intentions be known. Blake Judd.
I'd go for a field goal right now.
Blake Judd tackled.
Bang one back into the post and have a shot at it.
30-24. 3.5 minutes to go, and Burgess almost goes through, and Burgess dives over. The referee will say, come back and play it, Georgie boy. You're kidding.
Field goal.
No, McKinnon. They're setting for the drop goal now with Keary. It's been charged down by the big man, Mossy Massoy. He got the ball back to Josh Alamay, who was sprinting like a three-quarter. Alamay wants to play it. He's too tired to get up. Now he doesn't. It's Boston. The Newtown fans are trying to lift their side.
Great play, Mossy Massoy.
The noise at Leichhardt is absolutely deafening. Adam Henry calling a player back inside. That player is Vaiutu, who gets away from 3 of them. They keep it going now with Daniel Mortimer. Mortimer, he accelerates, he'll score. They won't get him, Mortimer, beside the post. He comes up with an absolute screamer. It'll be 30-all here if he gets the kick.
Put that down to Mossy Masoi, that charge down on his own line, came out 15 metres, got the charge down from Luke Keary, who was backing him up. Josh Alamoy, what a great pair of props they've been this afternoon for Newtown. Daniel Mortimer finishes it off.
What a great game this has been. Is it any wonder?
I tell you what,
it's the greatest game of all. What an advertisement this afternoon for the New South Wales Cup.
It is a great advertisement. Watch Vayo 2 here. Great work this afternoon. He's been solid all afternoon. A danger man for Newtown and Mortimer. Great feat at the end of it. Look at this, Dan. Oh, unbelievable.
Outstanding footwork. Oh, he just right on the spot, Mortimer. Turned it on. Fantastic, fantastic try.
That try had everything that rugby league's about, didn't it? Determination, never give up. You see Mortimer now converts it for 30-all, a minute and a half to go. What are we going to do?
Wow, what about this? Look at the Jets fans.
I'll tell you what, for all those people out there that say that this isn't a quality competition, watch this game today, and there's your answer right there. This competition is alive and well. There's young 20s kids coming through. There's great first graders playing out here. It's outstanding.
Well said, Andrew Ryan. Pleased to hear you say it because it's a fact. Some of us have been saying it for a long time. Josh Alamay. What a comeback by Newtown. They trailed 24-6 midway through this half.
It's game on with a minute to go.
Great job. Here's Anthony Cherrington. There is extra time that will apply today. It generally doesn't apply to regular season football in this competition, but in the finals there's extra time, and there is a penalty to Newtown for a high shot. Mortimer wants it quickly. Fair enough too. Look, it was lazy.
It was lazy. No malice in it.
Starling on Seluini. So Mortimer, oh no, his kick for touch has failed to find touch. The Bears in possession when they least expected it. Gee, that's a big play. Newtown were going to be on the attack 20 metres out.
And a penalty.
Penalty against the 16, Anthony Cherrington.
He's not afraid to make the calls, this referee, is he?
No, he believes in what he's doing. He's got high contact and fair call around the throat again.
Gee, I don't know about that.
I didn't know about the other one either, Tappy.
There's the full-time siren as the touch finder crosses the line on the western side. North Sydney will go straight for the field goal. The siren has gone. Luke Keary or Ryan Carr. It'll be Luke Keary. He has a crack. It's on its way, but it's to the left of the uprights. Misses by a couple of metres, in fact, and it goes dead. So Newtown have the ball, but that's the end of the section in regular time. We're heading for golden points.
Did you watch Bill Toopi?
Yeah, I thought Toopi could get out, to be honest.
Holy dooly.
So North Sydney will kick off in this first golden point period.
How good is this?
It's not 10 minutes extra time either. It's unlimited extra time.
Unlimited.
Until such time there's a point scored.
Well, I hope they got lights here.
30-all. The winner advances to the grand final qualifier against Canterbury next weekend. The loser says goodbye for 2012. Here's Seluini. He wants his hands on the footy. And I'll bet his coach wants him to have the hands on the footy. Dangerous. Barrett out of acting half. Full credit to Newtown. The way they have fought back in this game, extraordinary.
What's your tip, Bobcat? Quickly.
Too hard.
Norse.
Too hard.
Norse. What about you, Tappy?
Boston. Carney. I'll go the Jets. They've got the tails up.
I reckon a draw.
Cherrington. It can't be a draw. They're going to keep playing until there's a point scored. And the ball's out. Henry picked it up. Penalty to Newtown.
I might go Newtown.
During the early stages of extra time.
Oh, no.
Now this is kickable.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Best young player on the field for North Sydney, McKinnon. He's given the penalty away.
Daniel Mortimer will kick for the win. He hasn't missed one today, nor has Keary on the other side, by the way.
Did we not see Little John take a kick earlier in the year to win the game for him as well?
Against North Sydney.
I think we did.
At Henson Park in one of the late rounds. So here is Mortimer. A penalty shot at goal to win the game for Newtown. It's on its way. Can he do it? He has done it. Flags in the air. Newtown will advance. North Sydney is gone for 2012. And the Newtown players and fans are rejoicing. 32-30. If I wasn't here, I wouldn't believe it.
No, you can't. On the back of Mossy Masoi, Josh Alamoa, it was an absolutely outstanding second half from Newtown. I thought they were going for all money.
There's the full-time summary. 32-30, Carney 2, Masoi 2, Mortimer 6 from 6, including that penalty goal to win it. Keary, Leslie, McKinnon, Johnson and Carr, the try scorers for the Bears. Keary, 5 for 5, or 5 from 5. Here's the second half highlights.
Well, this is when I thought they might have got away here. Curtis Johnson hurdles over the top, and that put him to 24 points to 6. I don't know what was going to happen to Newtown after this. Here we go.
Mossy Masoi hitting the line hard, spun out of a couple of defenders and showed his full strength. And Vale puts a kick in here. Carney steps away after a great catch, outruns 2 or 3 North Sydney defenders, and blistering speed from the big man.
Yeah, against the run of play too, and we spoke about the kicking game being so immaculate from North Sydney. That was the worst kick of the day for them, and that's 24 points to 18. North Sydney get ahead again here with Ryan Carr, and we all thought that was put the glasses away. That was the end of the game, but not to be. Mossy Masoi against the grain again from a great pass from Kurt Carra.
Yeah, beautiful little play from Carra.
And here we go with right on the edge of darkness here, Veutu across to Mortimer after a wonderful charge down by Mossy Masoi, and Mortimer does all the rest. Have a look at this, and that's 30 points to all.
Then he kicked the penalty goal. Early stages of extra time. It was a long way out and was never in doubt. Flags in the air. And Mortimer wins it for Newtown here today. What a match.
Mossy, you essentially saved that field goal and then made the line break that led to the try. How do you feel after that?
I don't know. It's just one of those moments at the end of the year when you either want to go to Mad Monday or you just want to carry on. And everyone was going for it too. And I was lucky that he kicked it into my hands and I got the ball. And I just gave it to my teammates and led on to the try. Yeah.
You started pretty slow again this week. That's something you've definitely got to work on, isn't it?
Yeah, most of us, we started pretty flat. Big ups to North Sea. They came out hard. They beat us in the middle in that first half, and we just went into the break, just all the boys just saying off. We had to pick up our game and had to come back and had to try again in the arm wrestle again. And it was good that the boys had that spirit to come back while we were down 12 points.
Do you think that's your strength heading into next week's game? Is it mentally your side's probably up there with the toughest in the competition?
I don't know. I don't know about the toughest, but it's just the boys just want to work for each other. Yeah, they don't care. They don't give up from the first minute to the last minute, which is good.
Finally, I've got to ask, it may sound cliche, but your fans probably got you home again, didn't they?
Yeah, man. Thanks to all our fans who came out. 100,000.
I think you've probably got that right this week.
Cheers.